Hi, this video will show you how to set up DEM in your physics continua. This model is a very simple nozzle with a downstream plenum. So we start off by looking at our physics models, and as you can see, this is set up for regular flow. Adding DEM is a very simple process. The first thing is that we need to change the model from a steady state to an implicit unsteady time domain. Additionally, we will then select Lagrangian multiphase, as DEM is a subset of this. When we select Lagrangian multiphase, you will see that DEM pops up in the optional models. We can select this at this time, and additionally, depending if your solution will need it, you can select gravity as well. Then we can close out. There is nothing left over here that is required. Now you can see in our physics models we have our DEM model selected. We have to go to our Lagrangian multiphase, and we have to set up the phase for the particles. So we have to create a new Lagrangian phase, and then we have to select the models for that phase. At this time, we would select DEM particles instead of a material particle. DEM has several options for particles. In this case, we are going to select spherical particles. The particles in this model are going to be a solid. We'll probably make them aluminum. And then we can include a drag force if necessary. We can track particles. If you would like, you can turn on energy if you're concerned about heat transfer. However, typically it is recommended to turn on two-way coupling. There are several other models here that you can turn on, but they are not necessary, as you can see. So once we have our phase selected, you can see the default solid option is aluminum. That is fine for this application. Additionally, once we have our phase set up, we have to set up our phase interactions. Phase interactions are how the particles interact with each other and how they interact with the wall. So we create a new phase interaction, and then we have to select models. With DEM particles, there's only one option for DEM phase interaction. Then we can turn on the Hertz-Mendelein restitution coefficient. With the phase interaction, once we have the model selected, we have to go to the DEM phase interaction and select the phases. As you can see, the first phase is our phase 1, which is our Lagrangian phase. And the second phase, we have two options. We have phase 1 and wall 1. This would be the particles interacting with other particles and the particles interacting with the wall. In this case, we will select phase 1, so we set up the particles interacting with each other. It is recommended to set up a second phase interaction with the same models as we did before, and then with this phase interaction, we will set up the particles with the wall. And this concludes how you set up DEM modeling in the physics continua. Thank you.